So, Persona 3 Remake is something I thought I would never say in my entire life. Persona 3 has a remake. This was in my mind of far-fetched as Nintendo making Ocarina of Time remake. This is something I thought would never be possible, ever. But we have it. In the name of Persona 3 Reload, we have a modernized version of Persona 3. And it's in our hands and we're all playing it. But are all of us enjoying it?
A power that takes many forms. Might even prove to be your salvation, depending on where you end up.
The shadows are getting even more powerful. We need to get stronger too.
Now, I feel like I have to get this out of the way before I say my thoughts on Persona 3. So far, I am 50 hours in. I kind of want to say I'm halfway through the game, maybe a little, like 55%, whatever. I am 50 hours in, and so far, I'm feeling really, really underwhelmed with the game. If I had to rate it right now, I'd probably give it a 7. Now, I feel like I also have to get this out of the way first, but I'm one of those losers that played Persona 5 first that got introduced to the theory of Persona 5. So, Persona 5 was the game that introduced me to the series. Persona 5 is also my GOAT game. It's also my greatest game of all time. And I don't think that game will ever get surpassed on my list of GOAT. Because Persona 5, like, that game awakened me, man. That game made me look at life differently. That game is just special. There's no game like it on the planet. Down to the characters, story, soundtrack, atmosphere, vibes, everything, bro. That game is literally GOAT. No game will ever surpass Persona 5 for me. It's literally my GOAT game, and will forever will be. Back in summer of 2018 when I got... No, I'm joking. I'm not about to go into why Persona 5 is my GOAT and when I got it and my feelings of it, because this video will be 10 hours long, bro. But back to Persona 3 Reload. I want to take you guys back to after I beat Persona 5, right? Got that post-Persona depression, was down bad. I was like, I need more Persona in my life. So I wanted to play 3 and 4 because I knew of their existence. I knew the songs were fire. I knew some of the story, but I didn't know what was going on. So I was like, hey, I obviously want to play Persona 3 and 4 if I just play Persona 5, and it's literally my favorite game now. So I tried to play 3 and 4, and they were like, you need a PS2, buddy. And I was like, okay, I don't have a PS2. And then Golden at the time was only on Steam, so I didn't have a computer at the time, so I couldn't play Persona 4. And 3 was just, hey buddy, you need a PS2. Like, if you don't have one, fuck you, I guess. Like, like there's just like, you're just fucked. So I was pretty down bad, so I just started a whole new game of Persona 5. But I tried to play. So I found the way to get my hands on Persona 3 Portable. I found a way to get my hands on it, and I was playing it, and I've noticed that the game does not feel like Persona 3 to me. Now, I never played the original, but playing Portable just feels like you're missing out of content. To me, I would look at some PS2 videos of Persona 3 and I was like, bro, I don't see any of this. I don't walk around. I don't do all this. There's no animation cutscenes. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm legit missing out of content. So I stopped playing at the time. I was like, okay, I'm not playing this. I'm gonna just find a way to get a PS2. I'm gonna find a way to play Persona 3 somehow. Fast forward after Royal came out, after all this, and they were releasing Persona 3 and Persona 4 everywhere. I was fucking hyped. I was like, let's go. And then I saw that it was portable. And it was just, I was like, alright, whatever. I think Atlas thinks this is the best version of Persona 3, so I might as well give it a shot again. So I spent $20 on it, got 20 hours in, and I was like, dude, this shit is ass. Persona 3 Portable just feels like a visual novel, and then you run around in Tartarus, and that's literally it. I don't see any of the animated cutscenes. I don't see any of this. It just feels like a visual novel. Playing it feels like I'm genuinely missing out on content. Because, for example, in the very beginning of the game, the animated cutscene where you see Yukari holding the gun to her head, and you see the main character walk out, and there's a bunch of coffins everywhere, and he's in the dark hour. You don't see that in Portable. You see a picture of it, and you're like, oh, a bunch of coffins. Okay, whatever. And that's literally, you don't walk around the dark hour and you're like, yo, what's going on? You're just like, oh, it's a picture. You have to imagine it. And you only see a picture of Yukari holding the gun to her head, and it's like, oh, all I gotta do is pull the trigger. I'm like, dude, I would like to see that. And then I saw a video on Persona 3, and I saw the whole animation cutscenes. I was like, dude, I want to see all that. So I put 20 hours in Portable. I got Fuka, and I was like, bro, I can't do this no more. I got on my PS5 for no reason, because I was just like, sure, why not? And it just feels like you're missing out of content. So I generally don't like Portable at all. I played 4 though, didn't beat it, but I played it, and that game is good. I can't say anything on it right now. I might do a video on why I feel the way I feel about 4, but as of now, I like it, right? It's not as good as 5, but I definitely like it for sure. Back to 3. So when I was playing 3 Portable, and I was just bored out of my mind, I couldn't do it no more. I was like, I guess God doesn't want me to play this game, man. It sucks too, because when I saw 3 and 4, I originally wanted to play 3 first, because 3 looks a lot darker. I'm one of those guys that like dark stories. Like, I prefer Majora's Mask over Ocarina of Time, just because the fact that Majora's Mask is a lot darker. I know Ocarina of Time is a better game, but Majora's Mask is my favorite. But yeah, I just saw 3, and I was like, I really want to play 3, but I guess God said, nah, man. So when I saw that 3 remake trailer, there's no words to describe the feelings that I felt. It was just a definition of no fucking way they're actually doing this, man. No fucking way this is an actual thing, and it's real, and it's not the dream. There's no way this is an actual thing. But alas, it is. And now you guys know why I was so hyped for Persona 3, right? I was beyond hyped just because of all this stuff, just because all the Portable nonsense I had to deal with, and all this stuff. We finally got a modernized version of Persona 3. Now, before I get into that, I want to explain the definition of a remake, right? Now, the definition of a remake, if you ask 2 people, they'll say, oh, it should be a reimagining of the same story and just better graphics and like modernize it, but just like reimagine it, you know? And then there's the other side of people that say, oh, it should be the same game, but just modernize it. Just like the same exact game, but just make the graphics up to date, right? I have 2 great examples for that. Original Resident Evil 4 compared to remake. 2 different games, same core game, but different games at the same time. Now, Dead Space remake is kind of the same game as Dead Space, but they just modernized it, right? They just made it a lot newer. They changed some stuff around, tweaked some stuff, and made it better. And they didn't take anything out. Meanwhile, RE4 remake took the whole U3 boss fight and gave it to Ada. So there's some differences, right? Now, Persona 3 falls under the category of the Dead Space one, where it's the same game, but they just modernize it. Because I played a little bit of Portable, so I remember some of the lines, and some of the lines in this game are exactly the same, right? Now, I'm not too sure if that's a flaw. I really don't feel like that's a flaw, because I wanted to experience the original Persona 3 so long ago, so I don't mind it, but I just had to point that out, right? Now, the thing about Persona 3 Reload that I don't like, and how I can see how 5 and 4 done better, mostly 5. I could like see it while playing. I could be like, oh, Atlas improved on this in 5. Oh, they done this better. Oh, they do all this better, right? So the thing about 3 is I don't feel like Tartarus is enough. Before the game came out, I really wished they changed Tartarus up. Now I know that would have been hard with all the floors on it, but I really wish they'd done something different with it, because when I played the Portable version, Tartarus is what I like to call a PS2 dungeon, right? Hallway after hallway, straight line after straight line, enemy after enemy. It's just not really fun, right? That's like every PS2 game ever. Now, Persona 4 also had PS2 dungeons, you know, hallway after hallway, straight line after straight line, enemy after enemy. But Persona 4 had stuff that would keep you intrigued with the story to want you to keep going and keep pushing you forward, right? Persona 4 had the serial killer. And as you're trying to stop the serial killer and throwing these people in the Midnight Channel, you're gaining new party members, you're seeing their other self and you're seeing their other half, and you're relating to them, and they join the fight, and you see their cause and their motivation for trying to figure out who the serial killer is and who this guy is throwing all the people in the Midnight Channel. So that keeps you on to keep playing. And as you're doing that, people keep dying. So you're like, yo, I need to find this guy before people keep dying. And you have Persona 5, which keeps you playing the game because of the palaces, how they're so good, and because you're changing those people's hearts and gaining new party members at the same time. You're doing all this, and it's just fun. Also, it always zooms into the future in Persona 5, and you see that Joker has been caught by Sai Nijima. So you're wondering how he got caught and what the hell is going to happen after that. So I have 3 major questions that I want to know about Persona 3, right? It's the existence and why of Shadows, Tartarus, and the Dark Hour, right? Now, the only thing that I know 50 hours in is that Mitsuru's family, they messed up. They were experimenting, and they pushed Yukari's dad to do all this stuff with the 12 major shadows. And those are the ones that are like, you're fighting. But they all messed up, and a whole big explosion happened, and that's it. And the only like one that survived is Mitsuru's dad. That's really all I know 50 hours in. So I have these questions, and I want to know the answer to, but Tartarus is so ass that I don't know if I'm ever going to get there. Now, I can already see people, if anybody's ever going to watch this, I can see people already saying, well, it looks like this guy hasn't played any DRPGs in his life because every DRPG is like that. Everyone is like that, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you fucking loser. But I want to say, yes, I have played old JRPGs in the past. That's why I call them PS2 dungeons, because I've played some PS2 JRPGs before. But I feel like I could complain about Tartarus being bad because it's 2024 and this is a remake. Now, I said earlier that, it's not a flaw to me that this game is exactly the same as the original Persona 3. I meant that story-wise. I didn't mean that gameplay-wise. Now, I know Tartarus has added, I'm pretty sure the Monad passages, all that stuff, I'm pretty sure that wasn't in the original. If it was, and Atlas really did nothing, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the original. But that's still Tartarus at the end of the day. That's still just you running around in hallway after hallway fighting bosses. That's all it is. And I also want to add that full moons aren't enough to keep me going as well. Like, full moons has just been, so I have 3 full moons left, right? I have 3. I fought like 6 or 7 big boy shadows, and they're just kind of just fight a big boss and go back to whatever you were doing, go back to life. Like, I feel like I'm not doing anything. Like, at least in Persona 5, when you're changing hearts, you see those people's hearts get changed. I mean, I guess you can argue the fact that you're seeing less apathy syndrome people when you're walking around, but is that really good enough? Is that really gonna like push me forward? Like, I'm not too sure what I'm doing. Well, I know what I'm doing, but I'm just like, I don't know, it just feels like underwhelming. Like, I just wanted more. I wanted to see more. I wanted to do more. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Persona 3 right now. Now, don't get me wrong, I still like the game. I still enjoy playing it. Like I said, I gave it a 7 so far, but again, I haven't beat it. I'm just saying these flaws that I'm noticing while playing the game, but I still like the game and enjoy it, of course. I'm most likely going to beat it. I'm trying to beat it before that Rebirth comes out, but I don't know. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the game so far. If you agree, like, comment, tell me something that will keep me up at night. But thank you for watching. Peace.